today I'll be showing you how to create some grass in Cinema 4D. Let's get started. Okay, I'm in Cinema 4D, go to File, New, and then go to your render settings over here, and I'm going to enter my recording dimensions over here. So I'm going for a 720p, and then I'm going to close this down. I'm going to leave all the other settings as they are, so it will render a lot faster. Then I'm going to create a new cube, and that cube I'm going to change the X and Z to 1000. And there we go. And the Y I'm going to change it to 20. And for the X and Z I'm going to change those to 50. So now we have a lot more segments, and now we can add some variation curves in the ground as you will see later on. So once you've got this, what you have right here, click on the cube and then click over here to create an editable layer. And now you can create a new material. Double click on the material, and now we are going to create some standard dirt kind of color. So I'm gonna deselect the specular over here, so just click over here, then go back to color, and I'm going to load a noise factor. Click on noise, and I'm gonna change those colors to a brownish color, so one lighter and one darker brownish color. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to add a layer to this. So click on layer, click open the layer, create a new shader, and add noise again. Click on the noise, and again use two different browns that you like. Something like this. I'm going more oranges. Okay, and there we go. Maybe a little bit lighter over here. Okay, and now the global scale, we want to change that to 300%. And go back to your layer and change the blending mode to burn over here. So now we have some kind of dirt material. So close this down and drag and drop this material onto the cube. Click on the material over here and then just select seamless, so we have some better variations on there. Double click on the layer again, and we'll just add a simple displacement map over here. So load a noise effect again, open the noise, and then just change the global scale to 300%, and that's all we're gonna do. And now if we render this out, you can see we have some small variations in the floor. Maybe you can even increase that amount of height over here to 10 for the displacement. Close this down and render this again. And this is looking pretty good, I guess. So now what you're going to do is click over here and go into the top view part, then scroll up so we can see the whole part, and then we're going to use the polygon mode to select all these polygons. Then click over here and select the rectangle selection. Make sure only select visible elements are checked on, else you will have the bottom polygons also selected, so that's not what we want. So we're just going to select these polygons and then go back in the perspective view. And now we can add the grass to this. We are going to do this with a hair simulator. So go to simulate, go to hair objects and add hair. So now just click on the hair and go to guides over here. So length we will change it to 20. And go to hair, and the count we will increase it to 50,000. The more you will enter the counts, the longer it's going to take for the render. But it's gonna be better, and it's gonna look a lot better. So if you play this now, you can see all the hairs are falling down, and that's not what we want. So we want to change that by going to dynamics, open the properties panel, and then just change the rest hold to 80%. Now what we want to do is we want to edit the material for our hair. So now it's kind of furish. If you pre-render this first by holding Ctrl and pressing R on the keyboard, you will see what we have right now. And it's looking like a fur kind of thing, not really grass, so we want to change that. Okay, so this is what we have right now, not looking too great. So double click on the material for the hair, change the colors to a greenish color for that looks kind of grass. Okay, double click. Okay, there we go. Then go to length over here, check the length. And the variation we want to change to 80% or so. Then I want to change the frizz over here. Maybe 25 frizz for some variations in the hair, kink and clump. That should be good enough. Kink I'm going to change it to 20 or 15. And close this down and drag and drop this. Oh no, you don't have to drag and drop this. It's already over there. Pre-render this again and let's see what we have. Okay, so looking pretty good, I guess, but one of the most important things to make this look really great is adding lights. It does a lot of things to your composition. So add 3 lights, add the first light, scroll out so you can see the whole composition over here, and go back to the modal mode over here and then just move it up front to the right. Change the color to a nice light orange, not too bright, and change the shadows to soft. That's all you gotta do. Then just hold Ctrl and press C on the keyboard and press V on the keyboard to duplicate the slide. Move it back over here and to the left. Now change the orange to a blue color for some contrast over there. Then you can duplicate it one more time and move it over here. And change the intensity to 40% and change the color to white. And now if you zoom back in and we render this out, let's see what we have. So this is our grass that we have right now, looking pretty great. Maybe you want to increase the amount of grass and maybe decrease the frizz a bit, I guess. Just change these. Clump is good, okay. The frizz to 15. Okay, and now close this down. I'm going to add a few more hairs, so I'm going for 80,000. And then I'm going to add a physical sky over here. And click on the sky. I'm just going to use a preset right now because, yeah, I'm not going too far into this. So a nice preset, I'm going to use this sky. And that's all I'm going to do. But another thing I'm going to do is go to the sun tab and change the intensity to 130%. Okay. Now I'm going to add a new camera. Click on this square over here so it becomes white. And now you're in the camera itself. So if you move into your composition now, it's going to show you what the camera sees. So find a nice position and render this again to see what we have. Okay, so it's almost rendered out. I really like what I have right now. So if you don't like it yet, you can just keep animating things like specular for the grass. Try different light setups. Just mess around a bit because it's not going to look perfect from first time. Something like this you have to practice and use a lot. So another thing we can do is add some mountains in the background to fill up our composition over here because it's looking kind of empty. So I'm going to create a few quick mountains in the background. So yeah, let's get started. Go over here and add a landscape and then go to the modal mode again and then make it higher so it's an actual mountain. Move it up, something like this, and maybe make it a little bit wider, rotate it, whatever you want. Move it back. Okay, there we go. And now click on the landscape and increase the segments to 170 for me. I don't know what you want, it's all depending on yourself on what you are creating. Then holding and duplicate these mountains a few times and maybe just change it a bit with the settings. Sea level, okay, creases, plateau level, less. Okay, copy and paste it again. Make it smaller and a lot larger. Okay, there we go. And move it down. Okay, there we go. So now we can hold shift and click on the first landscape and then on the last landscape that we made, hold Alt and press G on the keyboard to group these mountains. Rename it by double clicking on the text and then rename it to mountain. Then we are going to create a new material by double clicking over here. Double click on the material itself, go to color, and we are going to add a layer again. Open up the layer, add a shader noise, and then open up the noise, click on the arrow right over here, and now pick something that you like. So I'm going for I think I'm going for this one, and I'm going to increase the global scale to 200%. And then I'm going to change the whites to a gray color. Then I'm going back to the layers tab, add a new shader, also noise, and I'm going to use a different pattern over here. So something like this should be working fine. And change this to a dark gray color. Go back to the layers tab and then change the blend mode to or screen or overlay. Just mess around until you get something that you actually like. So I'm going for normal with a less opacity over here. So as you can see, if we deselect it, it's just a small variation, not too much. Then I'm going to drag and drop this to the group layer over here. Click on the material itself and also click on seamless. So now if we render this again, let's see what we have. Okay, so it's almost rendered out, and as you can see, it's looking really great to me. So what you can do now is render this out, then just add some nice color corrections in Adobe Photoshop to give it a final touch. But this is how to create a quick scene like this. So now if you want to render this scene out, you will want to go to the render settings over here, change the resolution to whatever you want, go to save, change it to a JPEG format, or if you wanna make an animation, take a QuickTime movie, but I'm just going to use an image. So JPEG, then click over here to save it. We don't need an alpha channel because we have filled up the background. An alpha channel just deletes everything that's black, so we don't need this right now. Go to anti-aliasing and change this to best, and go to options and just deselect the default light. That's all you have to do actually. So now what you can do also is a physical, go to the physical tab over here and add depth of field. And now if you go to the camera, you can actually go to physical tab and you can change the f-stop. So the lower you go, the more depth of field you will have. So blurry in the front of your camera and blurry at the end, and you can focus on an object. So let's go for a 5.6, not too much because it's an actual landscape, and then just render this out and check whatever you have. But make sure you have the sampler to medium, because low is actually very low and very bad quality. And if you have time to render this out, just change it to high and then close it down and render this out. It will take a few minutes, but yeah, it's worth it. So thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks. Goodbye.